Oi! That's just so you can match up the audio in the video. Everything in creation is made in imitation of ideas that exist in the mind of God. So absolutely everything. Trees, dogs, water. Everything that has been created exists as an imitation of ideas that have eternally pre-existed in the mind of God himself. In the classical tradition, this is known as the doctrine of the divine ideas. God is perfect. He is existence itself. And the highest thing for God to think of is his own very essence. And since God himself is perfect, he comprehends his own divine essence perfectly. Now, God, in knowing himself perfectly, knows all the ways in which his own divine essence can be imitated in a finite way. These ways in which the divine essence can be imitated are known as the divine ideas. Now, those ideas in the mind of God that he wills to create in this created order act as exemplar causes of all things that exist in creation. So what that means is when we come into contact with anything in creation, what we are witnessing is a participation, an imitation of an idea that for all eternity has existed in the mind of God. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, basically what I'm saying is this: the more we come to know and comprehend the things of creation, the more we receive the finite essences of things as they reveal themselves to us, the more we get in contact with the divine essence. Now, this isn't to collapse the distinction between God and creation and say that they're both identical. It's simply to say that everything, insofar as it exists, is somehow revelatory of God himself. So we can really come to know something of what God is, his eternal power, his eternal goodness, his immutability, his infinite, even mercy, by our appreciation and reception of creation into our souls. A helpful analogy that St. Thomas Aquinas often points to help understand the nature of the divine ideas is that of a builder. So in the same way that before building a house, a builder first conceives of the idea of the house in his mind and then builds in imitation of that idea, so too God first conceives in his mind these ideas that are imitations of his own essence. And then when he makes creation, creation is made in approximation of those ideas. Now, this should absolutely transform the way that we view even the littlest things in creation. It makes every moment we spend in the world a chance for encounter with God himself. It's kind of similar to like when we see art. Let's say you see an art piece, or you see multiple art pieces from the same artist. You get to know something of the artist by contemplating his artworks. And the same is true for the divine artist. The more we contemplate and appreciate his creation, his artwork, the more we get in contact with him, the divine artist, he who created everything. Was that fire? So if none of that made absolutely any sense whatsoever, I guess all I'm trying to say is this: from our knowledge of creation, we can come to know something of the Creator. Now, that knowledge will obviously be limited because the divine essence is inexhaustible. But nevertheless, if we really, really, really come to know the things created by God, then in virtue of that, we come to know something of the Creator. So yeah.